Hi guys, a very good evening. Masquerade. So I'm back so that we can talk as usual. So let us take a look on this issue being raised by Professor Madhuku, and it shows ZANU-PF capture of state institutions, and it shows how they're trying to maneuver their way to actually fix CCC leaders. So I believe this is a team working together to actually force Nelson Chamisa into POLAD. And let me try to put this video right here on the screen so that you can actually see and hear what Professor Madhuku had to say regarding this matter.
I think that the way out is, the legal route seems to fail in the sense that the courts have made it clear that, they have not found any basis for releasing them on bail for now. That's what I've been following, which means that as far as the courts are concerned, the courts simply want them to attend trial and say, go to a trial. After a trial, you either be acquitted, in which case you obviously walk out of remand.
I don't know what is happening with my network here. It's becoming slow, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to actually play this video fully. Just be patient for a while. Let me see what is happening with my network here. So meanwhile, let me try to replay it.
Prison, or you are convicted and so on. I think that the best solution for these people is a political solution. As long as they are thinking that the way out is, the legal route seems to fail.
Yeah, my network is sabotaging me here for a while. So the issues raised by Professor Madhuku here are very critical and very important.
The courts have made it clear that they have not found any basis for releasing them on bail for now. That's what I've been following, which means that as far as the courts are concerned, the courts simply want them to stand trial and say, go to a trial. After a trial, you either be acquitted, in which case you obviously walk out of remand prison, or you are convicted and so on. I think that the best solution for these people is a political solution. As long as their party is arrogant and doing what it is doing, then it is completely failing. I'm sure they're in a wrong political party. First time I said that they have an excellent legal team. I think that the way out is that
So here's it. I've managed to actually play it, and I hope that you have listened carefully. You have understood what Professor Madhuku had to say regarding the incarceration of Job Sikhala. Let us get to the first point. The first issue is that CCC is becoming arrogant, and the question is, how is CCC arrogant? Because as a political party which is in opposition, they want to assume power, they want to contest in the elections and assume power. How are they being arrogant? The point is that Nelson Chamisa said, we are not joining POLAD. Nelson Chamisa said, we are not going to fall for whatever ZANU-PF is planning. And the ZANU-PF has been planning to actually co-opt Nelson Chamisa into POLAD. After co-opting Nelson Chamisa into POLAD, the economy performs and they save themselves for another period of time up to 2030. Those are the plans they had. So they wanted to actually give Nelson Chamisa a sort of a recognition, but that recognition was going to benefit the people in the opposition and not Nelson Chamisa. It was going to benefit a few individuals within ZANU-PF to stay for much longer in power. So you can actually see that Professor Madhuku is somebody who is in POLAD, is somebody who has been looking forward to actually benefit from the deal between President Mnangagwa and President Chamisa. He is trying to push this constitutional aspect in a wrong way. He's pushing a wrong narrative to say this issue must be solved politically, whereas this issue is before the courts, this issue is before the judiciary system. The Constitution, Professor Madhuku is a constitutional expert. It says the judiciary must be independent, must be impartial, and must exercise its functions from the mandate by the people, and must follow the law, and must follow the directives from the Constitution and the law itself. So, if we are to take the political route and have Nelson Chamisa sit with Emmerson Mnangagwa talk about issues, it shows that we have gone against the Constitution. It shows that we have abandoned the Constitution, we have abandoned the legal process, we have rendered the courts useless. The courts must be let to decide, and the courts must not be used by political individuals to score certain political scores. So you cannot force Nelson Chamisa at the table by beating his people, by murdering his people, by arresting his people. That is not how you deal with things. You need to actually go for an election, you get defeated and you retire. You go home, you go to Shell, you rest, and you leave politics to the next generation. That is what is supposed to happen. You cannot use Honorable Job Sikhala as a bait to lure President Chamisa to the negotiating table. What are we negotiating really? Because we are a few months from the election. What was supposed to be negotiated was supposed to be negotiated in 2018. That was the loss of President Emmerson Mnangagwa to President Nelson Chamisa. And what was supposed to be negotiated was the interference by ZANU-PF on the electoral processes. So right now, if ZANU-PF and CCC are to sit down and talk, they have to talk about political reforms, about electoral reforms, about economic reforms, not anything else about power sharing. We don't need that structure. They might force it, but we don't need it because it will get us back to 2013, where ZANU-PF just gave MDC a face powder, political power, but which was useless, where the policies of the MDC were not fully implemented. So right now, at this moment in time, we really need to go to the elections. We really need reforms. We really need political, economic, and electoral reforms. We go to the election, a winner, a winner. That is what we need. We don't need to see Nelson Chamisa sitting with Mnangagwa to actually speak about the release of Job Sikhala. Mnangagwa must just stop interfering with the processes. ZANU-PF must just stop interfering with the court processes and should allow the judicial system to actually do its job. So this is a sad situation and a sad moment, and Professor Madhuku is now proving to be inefficient in terms of being a constitutional law expert. So let me play it for the last time, then we end this live program.
I mean, the legal route seems to have failed in the sense that the courts have made it clear that, I mean, they have not found any basis for releasing them on bail for now. That's what I've been following, which means that as far as the courts are concerned, the courts simply want them to take trial and say, go to a trial. After a trial, you either be acquitted, in which case you obviously walk out of remand prison, or you are convicted and so on. I think that the best solution for these people is a political solution. As long as their party is arrogant and doing what it is doing, then it is completely failing. I'm sure they're in a wrong political party. First time I said that they have an excellent legal team. I think that the way out is, I mean, the legal route seems to have failed in the sense that the courts.
Team Zimbabwe, honestly speaking, Professor Madhuku is now lost because you cannot say that Job Sikhala and team, they are in a wrong political organization. How can a professor, a whole professor, say that I'm a constitutional law expert, say so? So what are you teaching the people at the University of Zimbabwe? What are you teaching law students? It shows that Zimbabwe has gone, the legal system in Zimbabwe has gone to the dogs. It has gone to the West in the history of Zimbabwe. So Team Zimbabwe, This is the reason why we must make sure that in 2023 we force these things to happen in the way we want it to happen. Let us register to vote, and let us make sure that in 2023 we vote. After voting, then we secure our victory. We make sure that we defend the vote. It's possible. Let us continue to work. Let us continue to be in solidarity with each other. Let us continue to actually work together as an organization. Thanks to Advocate Fadzema Here, she asked a very pertinent question, which I don't think Professor Madhuku is going to be able to actually respond, because she said that, is the constitutional law, is this the constitutional law that you taught us? Does the presumption of innocence fall away because one is CCC? What remains of the rule of law if bail is obtained by political negotiation? Whatever that means, is demanding constitutionalism arrogant? That is a very important question which Professor Madhuku cannot answer at this moment, because he is what he is and he can't answer such a question. He's going to avoid it, and the question is, what is arrogance according to Professor Madhuku? That is what is key. That is what is very important. So you can actually see that kana ukadya zvekuba ukadya moto wembavha, you end up being a criminal yourself. You end up being a thief yourself. And this is the scenario with Professor Elafumo Madhuku. He is now proving to be the worst constitutional law expert ever, because when CCC is demanding the rule of law, when CCC is demanding reforms, are they being arrogant? When CCC is defeating ZANU-PF, are they being arrogant? What is the basis? What is the reason of having opposition political parties? Why are you in the opposition yourself as Professor Madhuku? So it shows that we now have people who don't actually think for themselves, but they rely on ZANU-PF to think for them. So Team Zimbabwe, I do not take much of your time. It's late. Let us meet in other programs and other episodes. We'll see if I will be able to come with other issues here on this People's Platform. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for the support you have been giving us. Continue to subscribe, continue to like, comment, and continue to share to as many people as possible. If you are following us on Facebook, please make sure that you have liked. Make sure that you are sharing these programs, and make sure that you are following us. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for the contributions, and thank you very much for being with us here. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. Let us meet in other episodes and other programs.